The text issues a warning regarding the presence of false teachers within the community of believers. These individuals have subtly integrated themselves, often unnoticed by the wider group. Their infiltration poses a significant and inherent danger to the community. The presence of these false teachers undermines the foundational principles of faith. This subversion occurs from within the community, making it particularly insidious. The warning emphasizes the need for vigilance against such internal threats to doctrine and belief. The initial objective was to convey the profound joy associated with salvation. However, the emergence of deceptive influences necessitated a change in direction. These influences compelled a critical reevaluation of the primary message. The focus shifted to an urgent call for the defense of faith's integrity. This defense aimed to counteract encroaching falsehoods and preserve core beliefs. False teachers often engage in semantic deception, distorting core concepts. A common manipulation involves the concept of grace, altering its true meaning. They transform grace into a justification for engaging in sinful behavior. This reinterpretation asserts a form of freedom from moral obligations. However, this asserted freedom often manifests as rebellion against established divine principles. Such teachings lead to a deviation from ethical conduct under the guise of spiritual liberty. Outward expressions may appear spiritual and devout. However, the internal disposition reveals a profound detachment from genuine divine connection. This disparity highlights a core hypocrisy in their teachings. The conduct therefore contradicts the proclaimed spiritual values. Historical accounts often highlight the relationship between divine intervention and human accountability. The Israelites, for instance, experienced miraculous deliverance from Egyptian bondage. Despite this divine act, they faced condemnation due to their subsequent unbelief and rebellion. This demonstrates that divine deliverance does not automatically exempt individuals from consequences. Unbelief and rebellion can lead to judgment, even after experiencing profound divine favor. Divine judgment is a fundamental concept illustrating accountability to a higher authority. The example of angels deviating from their designated roles serves as a key illustration. This historical event highlights that even celestial beings are subject to divine law. Their transgression demonstrates that no entity is immune to consequences for defying divine authority. This principle underscores the universal application of divine justice and its implications. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah stands as a historical example of severe judgment. These cities were consumed by fire due to their profound immorality. This event signifies that unchecked sin inevitably leads to ruin. It serves as a stark warning against catastrophic immorality and its consequences. Beyond historical accounts, texts often employ vivid metaphorical imagery. These metaphors describe complex concepts, such as the nature of false teachers. They are designed to create lasting impressions on the audience. This conveys insidious influences more profoundly than factual descriptions alone. False teachers are metaphorically compared to hidden reefs. These reefs are concealed beneath the calm surface of a love feast. This metaphor suggests that what appears benign or even beneficial can be dangerous. Such hidden elements pose a catastrophic threat. Their presence is capable of destroying faith. Self-serving leaders prioritize personal gain over the well-being of those they lead. This behavior is often illustrated by the imagery of a shepherd neglecting their flock for personal sustenance. Such leaders demonstrate motives focused on their own benefit rather than collective good. This contrasts sharply with the expected role of true leadership, which is protective and nurturing. Effective leadership demands a commitment to the welfare of followers, not self-enrichment. Certain clouds are metaphorically described as offering no rain, despite their appearance. These clouds are driven by winds, signifying movement without substance or outcome. In arid regions, clouds typically symbolize hope for vital relief and sustenance. However, these specific clouds bring only disappointment, failing to deliver on spiritual promises. The metaphor describes individuals as autumn trees, devoid of fruit. These trees are depicted as uprooted and lifeless, symbolizing a lack of vitality. This imagery illustrates their spiritual barrenness, indicating an absence of genuine transformation. Their lives lack productive spiritual output, reflecting a state of unfulfillment. False teachers are metaphorically compared to wild, restless waves of the sea. This imagery highlights their disruptive and chaotic influence within a community or doctrine. Like waves, they churn with constant, aimless energy, creating commotion. Their actions are depicted as producing foam and shame, signifying superficiality and disgrace. The foam represents a lack of substance, where noise and appearance overshadow truth. Ultimately, their impact is characterized by superficial disturbance rather than meaningful contribution. Certain entities are metaphorically described as wandering stars. Initially, These entities may appear as guiding lights, offering direction or insight. However, their true nature leads to misguidance, causing others to stray from the correct path. Their ultimate trajectory is not towards enlightenment, but towards profound darkness. This path culminates in judgment and spiritual obscurity, rather than clarity or salvation. Deceptive communication involves the use of language to mislead or manipulate others. Individuals employing such tactics often utter loud boasts, exaggerating their abilities or achievements. They also engage in flattery, offering insincere praise to gain favor or advantage. These words are not intended to convey truth or offer genuine encouragement. Instead, their speech acts as a tool for manipulation and exploitation. The primary goal is personal gain, often at the expense of others. Believers are warned about the emergence of mockers in the last times. These mockers are characterized by their ungodly desires and intentions. Their actions are predicted to cause significant divisions within the community. Such divisions are detrimental to the unity and harmony of the group. This serves as a prophetic warning to maintain vigilance and solidarity. Individuals may outwardly claim spiritual insight or understanding. However, this assertion often masks a fundamental lack of genuine spiritual essence. This creates an inner spiritual void, despite their confident external demeanor. Such influence can lead to the fragmentation and disruption of communities. False teachers exhibit a distinct characteristic: the active rejection of established authority. This behavior contrasts sharply with genuine adherence to divine principles. They actively despise and resist any form of correction or guidance. Their refusal to embrace humility is a key indicator of their divergence. This indicates a fundamental departure from righteous conduct and spiritual submission. Such actions highlight a core difference in their spiritual orientation and practice. The text highlights Archangel Michael's restrained conduct. This behavior stands in stark contrast to the arrogance displayed by certain teachers. Michael refrained from presuming to pass judgment on his own authority. Instead, he deferred all judgment to a higher, divine authority. This act exemplifies proper spiritual comportment, characterized by reverence and humility. False teachers often slander concepts they do not fully comprehend. This behavior stems from a combination of ignorance and pride. Such a state leads to a form of spiritual blindness. They operate based on instinct rather than genuine understanding or truth. False teachers exhibit destructive behaviors driven by negative motivations. Historical figures like Cain, driven by jealousy, offer a parallel to these destructive patterns. Balaam, motivated by profit, illustrates another historical example of corrupt influence. Korah, consumed by rebellion, further highlights a recurring pattern of negative motivations. These comparisons reveal consistent destructive behaviors fueled by similar negative impulses. Deception is an ancient and persistent pattern throughout human history. Despite generational changes, the fundamental spirit of falsehood remains constant. The underlying tactics of deception are continuously remanifested in new forms. This demonstrates a cyclical nature, where history repeats itself through similar deceptive acts. Understanding these enduring patterns is crucial for recognizing contemporary forms of deceit. The text emphasizes the critical need for individuals to actively strengthen their faith. This process is defined as spiritual fortification, a core countermeasure. It serves as an essential antidote to the pervasive influence of deception. Strengthening faith fosters resilience, protecting against the propagation of error. This proactive approach builds inner strength to resist misleading influences. The text concludes with an assurance of hope for believers. It affirms the capability of divine power to prevent them from stumbling. This signifies that deception will not ultimately prevail against them. Divine preservation offers ultimate security to those who believe. This concept provides comfort and steadfastness against adversity. Vivid imagery serves as persistent warning signals, akin to dangerous markers on a treacherous path. These signals symbolize challenges that threaten one's spiritual or moral journey. Hidden reefs represent unseen dangers that can cause significant damage if undetected. Fruitless trees and wandering stars symbolize deceptive influences or misguided paths. Collectively, these underscore the critical importance of wise discernment and unwavering vigilance in maintaining faith.